बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, आपका मेज़बान वक़ील ख़ान हाज़िर खिदमत है प्रोग्राम सफ़ीर पाकिस्तान के साथ। नाज़रीन, जैसा जानते हैं कि पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन बिज़नेस कम्युनिटी में बहुत मुतहरिक है अमेरिका में, और बड़े बड़े उहदों पर फाइज हैं, बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज चला रहे हैं माशाल्लाह। फ्राम स्मॉल बिजनेस फ्राम $1 million to $1 billion बिजनेस दे आर रनिंग अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। और कल एक हमारी बहुत ही अहम तरीन मुलाकात हुई जनाब डिप्टी डायरेक्टर दिलावर सैयद साहब से, जो कि SBA के डिप्टी डायरेक्टर हैं, जो नेशन लार्जेस्ट स्मॉल बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है। और वो जो है मेयर फ़राह खान जो नवाइन की मेयर हैं, उनकी दावतनामे पर वो आए थे और उन्होंने वहाँ पे लोकल बिजनेस कम्युनिटी, बिजनेस लीडरशिप और लोकल चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स से मुलाकात की और सैर हासिल गुफ्तगू की, और उन्हें बहुत अच्छे अच्छे प्रोग्राम आए। जो सबसे अच्छी बात उन्होंने बताई कि गवर्नमेंट की जो बाइंग है, डोमेस्टिक बाइंग है, वो $662 बिलियन है, जिसमें से जो बाइडन ने 15% माइनॉरिटीज़ के लिए रखा है, जैसे ब्लैक, स्पेनिश माइनॉरिटीज़, वुमेंस के लिए है। और मैं समझता हूँ ये तकरीबन $100 बिलियन से ऊपर बनता है। तो ये प्रोक्योरमेंट को हम हासिल कर सकते हैं और अपने कंपनी को सर्टिफाइड करा के ये बिजनेस हम हासिल कर सकते हैं। इसके अलावा काफ़ी ग्रांट्स उन्होंने बताई हैं जो अवेलेबल हैं स्मॉल बिजनेस के लिए। इसके अलावा पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स ने एक सवाल रेज किया था, जिसके बारे में हमने ये कहा उनको कि जो होम बिजनेस हैं, जो आप फिज़िकल बिजनेस से जो है वो आप होम बिजनेस में आ गए हैं और होम बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए भी कोई जो है लोन प्रोग्राम होना चाहिए जो कि इक्विटी बेस पे ना हो। ओके, और वो लोन दिया जाए फ्राम $50,000 to $200,000, ताकि वो अपने होम बिजनेस को फ्लोरिश और रन कर सकें। इस मौके पे उन्होंने तमाम लीडरशिप से मुलाकात की और बड़े अच्छे ख़ैरात का इज़हार किया। नाज़रीन, आइए देखते हैं ये प्रोग्राम। आपको इस स्पीच से अंदाज़ा होगा कि कौन कौन सी फैसिलिटीज़, कौन कौन से बेनिफिट आपको अवेलेबल है SBA की जानिब से। मुलाज़ा फरमाइए ये रिपोर्ट।
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We'll start doing a countdown to see who sits first. Thank you so much for being here today. It's such an honor to have with us Deputy Administrator Dilawer Syed, who visited Irvine not too long ago in a different capacity with the State Department. So we were super excited because now he comes in not only in a new role, but with new information, resources and programs specifically for our small business community. And I think that's something that we really want to make sure we're connecting everyone with. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on, not only in Irvine, but in Orange County as a region. We are becoming one of the fastest growing business hubs and in the country, not just in the state. And we're doing that because of everyone that's in this room. It's the work that's being done by our organizations, by our business chambers, especially our ethnic chambers, that are really pushing the envelope when it comes to businesses succeeding. So not just starting new businesses, but making sure that those that are in place are thriving and have the support that they need to continue that growth. One of the things that I always highlight in our city is my understanding of the business community. Having these roundtable discussions, having an opportunity to sit with folks and ask them what their needs are and where we can help them. And so through those conversations, two paths emerged. And both of them not only benefited Irvine, but benefits Orange County as a region. And one was the small business direction, and that was really making sure that our small businesses had the support and resources needed to do all the work that they need to do. So when we got our urban recovery funds from the federal government, I set aside $5 million for our small business community. And thank you. And through that, we saw the impact that it had. People, our small business community members were able to open up offices, provide resources, and make sure that they were actually connecting with other chambers and building upon what they already had. And we saw that impact happen, and it basically trickled throughout Orange County. And I think that's what's really important, is knowing that when you are supporting those that are on the ground doing the work, that you see the benefits, and the benefits are always great. The second path was the Innovation Council. And this brought together more of our established corporate businesses, their CEOs, our educational institutions, our developers, and our venture capitalists, making sure that we were reinvesting in our talent here, so that we weren't losing talent to Silicon Valley or Boston, that we were making sure that we had a place for them to grow right here in this region. And we're doing amazing work with that. The city has just started a letter of intent, and we'll move on to an MOU with Sunstone Management to start an accelerator program right here in the city. And that's going to be exciting, because that's making sure that when we say we want to reinvest and support our business community, that we're actually doing the work to make it happen. And then, of course, in the future, and hopefully in the near future, we'll see a partnership with UCI and their School of Management. They have tracks, so basically they have a competition each year where the students are able to get guidance from their professors, and then they have a competition, they get funding, resources, and opportunities. We want to make sure that everyone is able to thrive and feel like they are supported right here in our region. And then, with that, I just want to thank all of you that are here, because you're really the boots on the ground. You're the ones that are doing the work, that are communicating with our office, letting us know what your needs are, and that helps us make sure that when opportunities, like having the deputy administrator here happen, that we are like, yes, we are ready to host you, we're ready to bring the community in, and the community shows up. So with that, I'd like to introduce our special guest today. And Dilawer comes to SBA from the State Department, where he championed American businesses as special representative for the commercial and business affairs. And I know many of you got to hear him when he was here last time. And as the State Department's top commercial diplomat, Deputy Administrator Syed advocated for U.S. companies to compete and win abroad, and helped ensure U.S. competitiveness in markets across the globe. In this role, he mobilized the private sector to support the people of Ukraine in the wake of Russia's invasion, and advocated for commercial deals in strategic sectors such as aviation and defense, energy, and technology. And with that, I bring to you our amazing Special Deputy Administrator Dilawer Syed.
Thank you so much, Farhan. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And I was thinking this morning that I'm back here in Irvine after a few months. And every time we think about this region, I know that we have a partner and a collaborator here with Mayor Khan, with Orange County Business Council, with my friend Scott Fox of the Orange County Startup Council, and you guys are amazing. And what I've learned in my career in Silicon Valley is the ecosystem. It takes all the stakeholders, obviously our elected leaders, but also our volunteers and civic leaders in the private sector to build what you're doing here, which is so special. So thank you for your leadership, for helping build Irvine forward, putting it on the global map. You were talking about just your visit to Barcelona and all the opportunities there are. Last time I was here, I talked about challenges, and some of you have heard me mention this a few times in our conversation during this trip as well, the challenges that we're facing in the world, the challenges that our country faced. Some of these challenges have continued as we are faced with this moment. And I want to take a few minutes to talk about what are some of the broader issues and how we're responding to this. First, let me start with climate change. I think it's safe to say that phenomena is having a significant impact on our communities, on our health of our societies, and on our businesses. I was in Hawaii shortly after Lahaina nearly burnt to ground. And here in California, we have Paradise, California, which that devastation took place many years ago, and we still haven't gone and fully recovered. And extreme weather is causing these kind of incidents to happen even with greater frequency, with an impact on people's lives and their livelihoods. a phenomenon that we haven't seen as a humanity, definitely not in our lifetime. Second, geopolitical challenges. Mayor Khan referred to my work at the State Department to support people of Ukraine. I actually joined the State Department shortly after Putin invaded Ukraine. And a lot of my work initially was to support the Secretary, mobilizing the private sector to support Ukraine. As we speak now, the heartbreak and the violence in the Middle East. Every single day we wake up and it breaks the heart. It breaks my heart. And I think back, it has on so many of our communities right here. Muslim American community, Jewish American community. We haven't seen this kind of violence in a very long time. Pandemic. You know, not too long ago, we couldn't come together like this without wearing masks or felt comfortable. A global health crisis that we hadn't seen as a humanity since 1918, like once in 100 years, which is coming out of it and on the path to recovery. So when you look at these challenges, whether it's global health, geopolitical challenges, violence in the world, climate change, it may feel these are daunting, and they truly are, and they make this moment very, very unique. Now, our response to this moment, as leaders, as communities, as business, as government, has to be equally weighty and energetic to meet this moment. So since I serve and have the privilege to serve the administration, let me start with what are we doing as the present administration to respond to this moment. So last year, if you just talk about the industrial policy legislation that we've passed, the scale, the depth of it, we haven't seen since the New Deal, 75, 80 years ago. IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, bipartisan Chips and Science Act, let me repeat, bipartisan infrastructure bill. These are investments we are making in our country and to build these industries of the future. Again, the scale of which we haven't done as a federal government in decades. We have advanced manufacturing that has doubled since 2020 coming up. We have semiconductor manufacturing, fabs being put up from upstate New York to Fremont, California, where I spent a big part of my time in Silicon Valley. We didn't build fabs in this country. We're doing that now. Renewable, EVs, batteries, biotech, and Renova Mine is a hub for that. All of this because there is a clear focus on driving investment. And to share with you a figure, $628 billion worth of private sector investment has been committed in the first 3 years of this president's first term.
Social psychologists, sociologists, because we're going to need them when AI really takes off, more than what it has today.
So I'll give you one example. The EO is, by the way, a very detailed document. I would encourage everyone to look at the EO, and I'm very proud of our colleagues who worked on it so hard to develop this pretty significant document on emerging technology. There is an aspect to the EO that talks about that if I am a startup or a larger company and I am building an LLM and a model, and if I think that has the use case has implication on national security, you should share safety results with the federal government. That's pretty sweeping. We are not saying that we will issue a license. That's in our system, we don't do that. We're a free market economy. But we are encouraging you that you should share the safety results of running your models. Someone who actually built models, my team built AI models, at Indiana many years ago. As you may know, it's an art and science. As you train the data, you will see results and you see biases, gender, racial, regional. Now, those biases could have serious implications if they are in the national security realm, right? So we are asking, there's a process by which the companies and innovators will be asked to share the results, safety results, so we can be concentrated about making sure there's no unintended consequences. So that's how we do guardrails. which again, it's pretty amazing how prescriptive this whole thing is. Not just thou shalt not do this, but no, there's a process how to prevent that from happening. That's how good government, by the way. That's called governance, which is very important. Second, on your point about remind me again.
Sociology.
Sorry. My bad. On whether there is there's psychologists or social science. In general, like the whole spirit is that we are recognizing that we want this to be a societally positive thing. I don't believe there is certainly any suggestion on involving social scientists. But what I would say is this EO is a guiding document. It's a first step. This technology is so transformational, and it's moving so fast that we need to keep building on this. It is an EO, it's not a legislation. I'm only speaking about the executive administration, not U.S. Congress. There might be opportunities that that we could refine this further. But take a look at it, it's pretty comprehensive, acknowledging the challenges and some of the risks associated with AI, without coming in the way of innovation.
Thank you.
I'm going to add a little bit to that is within the EO, there's direction that a lot of the policies and the regulations will be coming through the Health and Human Services Department. And that's where I think the social component is going to come from. Recently, I know it's ended right now, but they had a survey that you could participate in to provide input for that ended by December 5th. But there's going to be more opportunities, and we're definitely going to be working with our regional HHS departments here to make sure that we're getting you guys connected with them. If there's more opportunities to exchange ideas, to get more input, that'll be ongoing. That's an important component because that's where the social side will come in.
Yes. Thank you.
And I know.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to be here today. I think it's wonderful to be able to. And we have had the pleasure of meeting with Mayor Khan many times. Of course, she's been very supportive of our effort. We're basically involved in integration of innovation and AI across the board, including the education system. How do we prepare our children and youth to enter a market that's shifting as we speak, especially in the case of AI, which is really changing industries across the board. So my question is how the SBA can help organizations like us, nonprofit, which is really addressing a segment of the development of society that traditionally has not been maybe part of the picture, or it's been primarily economic activities across certain industries, but not necessarily with the, for example, education or other aspects, as the other gentleman mentioned, the social aspect of the development, as well as, of course, the environmental. And I think that this should be a process that should start at the age of 5 and 6. But we've had a really difficult time getting the community involved in the process and really fitting into any specific category, per se, that we're actually part of a bigger picture, that we're building civilization here. That the purpose of education, for example, is to build a community, to build a civilization, which is, I think it has to be, especially AI, with the integration of innovation and possibilities that AI is creating. I think the picture is changing very quickly, and our future as a country, as humanity, it really depends on how we integrate innovation across the board to raise the quality of life.
Small businesses. The role of AI, I can speak to that. So there are a couple of ways where we are focused on. One is driving more awareness for small businesses as to how to use data science, machine learning, generative AI tools that I'm sure many of you have played with. Take a look at SBA.gov/events. You'll be amazed. We have our sport chapters that are holding training on how to use ChatGPT to augment your marketing for small businesses. I'm proud of the sport chapters. I saw recently one in Southern Nevada that is co-head of webinar talk about using AI to run a small business, so to augment the sales and marketing services, on using ChatGPT. So that's what we're focused on, how do we bridge this knowledge gap, because I think we alluded to this. Smaller businesses, they often don't have either the resources or perhaps the background to be able to engage with this technology. And the pandemic taught us this. It was actually a springboard into getting the business digital, because you lost immediately, very quickly, overnight, the ability to connect with customers. So the adoption of how social media, Instagram, if you were using it to promote a business or to engage with your customers, that all happened overnight into the pandemic. So we are learning from that and say, okay, how do we proactively close the gap at this time when this technology is taking off probably 10x the speed, and its scale is going to be huge. And so our one, we focus on education and driving awareness. Second, I will take the opportunity to also share, when it comes to resources on the financial side, the SBIR, SBGR program. How many are familiar with SBIR, SBA's Small Business Innovation Research grants? And those are programs that are designed, these are grants, by the way, that SBA administers with the help of our federal government partners, the DoD and other agencies. And these are innovation grants we make to companies, small businesses, startups who are building technology that needs more funding before it becomes commercial. So that's sort of where we are playing in, given our mandate to drive economic opportunity and entrepreneurship in the country.
We have
Excellent.
more questions, but let's try to make the questions as brief as possible because we're running out of time.
Ahoy, my name is Ryan Pullen, I'm the director of the PCI Entrepreneur Center, and I love to talk in connection with education. But I am on Instagram Live, and we do have some students watching, and they have a question. And it sounds like a lot of this is support for people who already have businesses and they're past that college spot. What is your advice for student entrepreneurs to get plugged in and to get access early? And this could be something that maybe each of you could answer on a high level so that we can get them interested in taking advantage of things as student entrepreneurs. Because let's face it, we want them to become the next people taking advantage.
Totally agree with you, Ryan. I had a great visit at UC Irvine at Entrepreneur Center actually a few months back. So I'm glad you're here and your students are watching your type and so forth. So we absolutely are here not just for the established businesses and entrepreneurs, but those who are becoming towards businesses. Secondly, if you are pursuing a more specialized major with a deep science focus, again, the opportunity for SBIR, FCTR. I don't know if UC Irvine has a local resident support to help you navigate. I would encourage students to look at those grants. We know some of these student entrepreneurs who got those grants early in their career. And these are not loans, these are actually grants for the federal government. It does take some process to go through that, but I would encourage your students also take a look at those grants. But it's awesome that they are following us this morning and are aspiring entrepreneurs.
I have a question. I had a small business in Switzerland for about 4 years, and that gave me a lot of opportunity to spend time over there. One of the things that I learned about their society, which is very interesting, and I wish we could really implement it here, is that in high schools, people at the 9th grade, they can actually decide on the profession that they're interested in. They can pretty much start, learning about, how to be a hotel manager, or how to be a plumber, how to be an electrician, how to, and so on. So they don't actually, they can get their diploma. When they get diploma, they already specialize in a particular profession, and they can have their own small business, and actually have a high-paying job, at that particular field, and so on, So if you look at the data that we have in the United States, as far as the math records, and also the sciences, how well we're doing, and so on, we really need to a little bit of a, new ideas as far as how we can improve that, and we can maybe look at some of the models around the world and see what works in certain society, and sometimes maybe we can implement some of those ideas over here to help us. Just your feedback on that.
So just very briefly on this, we have not mentioned community colleges. Obviously we have a different system from other countries in Europe. Community colleges where it can also be a vocational focus, and there's a support that has been provided at the state level, at the federal government level. I think that's where we are we have some of those potential for us to be able to do more there. So if you want to. Yeah, that's right, internships, right, that encourage. And by the way, the federal government now, we welcome paid interns, right, which is, I was a State Department, we had some future diplomats that just really came through paid internship programs. So there are opportunities, I think, obviously for us, it's more the community college side, where you see some more of a vocational focus that you're referring to.
And I'd just like to add, to go back to the UCI entrepreneurs question. So I actually wish they had a program for me, starting out back in the 90s. I'm dating myself a little bit in college, but my advice to them is get connected with your local chambers. There's so many resources for you. We are going to be going to UCI. And you guys need to get connected. Start networking at an early age, especially with small business owners. In our networking events, not only will you get to meet incredible people who own businesses where you can learn from, but we also have sponsors, we have resource partners, community partners that could really guide you, to where you want to be. So we're here for you. So we're actually talking with Sandy Lee. Shout out to Sandy over there at UCI. So we want to do an event out there. So we're going to get you guys connected, so thank you.
All right, I'll let you do that. You guys work.
The hearts are always
Learning is a high credit.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Charles Abraham. I'm a business and personal success coach. And if I had a Christmas wish list, it would be more availability for SBA loans. And Ena's doing really well in her business. And she just mentioned she keeps getting all these requests to apply for loans. She's like, well, where were they when I needed, when I needed the money? And I have a particular client right now that I was thinking about who got into significant personal debt to start his business. He's just starting to get traction in his business now, but he's over his head with 30% interest on his credit card, and doesn't qualify for SBA or any kind of loans because his credit utilization is high, which dropped his credit score. So my Christmas wish list is some kind of refinance loan available to business owners who perhaps are in that situation that will help them get out of that hole, because that's a deep hole that is very difficult to get out of.
That is a deep hole, and it's tough to hear this. And thank you for doing what you do. That's awesome work. Let me ask a question, in case you're able to answer. If you know this, do you know if your client has engaged with that SBA office? Has he had, or he or she has a consultation with anyone?
Yes, and denied. And actually, I have another client who's probably in a similar position, higher dollar amounts.
When you say deny, sorry, just to clarify, that denial would be from a bank or lender who SBA backs. I'm talking about SBA's district office. We have a team here. Chris, if you wouldn't mind standing up, has there been a consultation with anybody you could actually set up an appointment. And by the way, let me say this, these are taxpayer funded resources. We're all funded by you, we work for you. So your client has the ability to set up an appointment and say, look, walk through that tough situation that he or she is in and say, what are my options here? And we can provide that guidance. So I'm just curious if that hasn't happened. I think it would be great. And I'll let you Chris take it from here. Which is fine.
I just want to invite you to get connected with me and my colleagues at the district office. I also have another colleague here, Alex Salas, who works in our district office. So the local office is responsible for all of Orange County and the Inland Empire. And what I committed to you today to do is to connect you or your friend in need with local lenders that are going to at least explore, entertain, have a conversation, look at what the needs are, because nobody should be dealing with 30%, right? Interest on a loan. And so we do have programs, we do have mission-based lenders here in our community that do care, and they're only a phone call away. What we pride ourselves on at our office is connecting people to the resources that we need, and that's our job. And as the Deputy Administrator said, these resources, we hesitate often to call them free. They're not free. They're at no cost to you because you as an American taxpayer have already paid into it. And so it's our responsibility to make sure that you're aware of these resources so that you can leverage them for your benefit.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for sharing this. And again, I think it's a great, as we are wrapping this, your story that you shared is why we do what we do, why I chose to serve at this moment. Because even as we talk about success and talk about big numbers that are bringing the future, there are a lot of stories long tail where folks are running into this issue in this recovery. Businesses that shut down during the pandemic for them to never ever come back. And we are in the business of helping meet those folks. So again, thank you for what you do in the community, engage with the office, work with us, and we'll see what options there are from the SBA or some of our other partners that we can direct them towards. Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be here. Thank you, Mayor Farr, for making sure we know what's the main question I have is I guess we can reach out to the local office, but you know, part of the process is how do we demystify going through the process is a chore. So any ideas of how we can try to do that?
Yeah, so demystification, let me say this, it's both sides. You have to also take a big step. And I'm saying this, I'm putting my entrepreneur hat back on. Often I tell folks that when I was in business, in my previous startup, to close a healthcare contract, it would take me years to become HIPAA compliant, talk about this data, back and forth. That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what small businesses do. Like it's a lot of sweat. And you have to have grit every day, getting up and having belief in yourself and your team and just moving forward. So we will continue to do every effort we can to make sure we are demystifying the process. I'll give you one example. If you go to a certified.sba.gov and you look at the process, how to certify yourself as an ADA and a contractor, they actually will walk you through pretty nicely. The website is well done, it's more optimized. We are to talk about all the focus that I have in the agency with my own background as a tech guy to improve our CX and customer service and build the systems. But we are streamlining the process, and it will walk you through what your eligibility criteria is, what it takes to do that. So I think there is an effort already to fuel demystify, because I hear you, it's daunting to look at these things because they are pretty massive. The good news is, however, if you want to go through this and you become certified, you have a little sliver from the $650 billion. So we are making an effort, but I would also caution you to be prepared to engage with us. Remember, we are a big country. Yes, we have 68 district offices, payback, capital to SBA. So the effort is to make sure we're democratizing this equity investments or this loan investments, loan making to our lending partners for businesses of all types, whether they're digital or they're
social psychologists, sociologists, because we're going to need them when AI really takes off, more than what it has today.
It's going to take all of us, it's going to take community partners like Jay and others and yourself who are serving. I would also say at the same time, if there is feedback on something that we can demystify further, let us know. And that's why we brought a team here with you. But that's a work in progress, right? That we will continue to do as we move forward.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much to our Deputy Administrator, Syed, for being here with us today. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. I hope this was helpful, educational, and again, we've got resources right here in our backyard that are available for you. So please do make those connections and make sure that if there are issues that you're being faced with, that we're sharing them with these folks here so they can do their job even better. But with that, we're going to wrap it up today. Again, thank you so much for spending time with us, and we look forward to future events that can be helpful for you and the other communities in Orange County. Thank you.
Lots in the community here in the Irvine and Newport chambers. I don't want to make this a tech talk, but you've heard my interest with AI and in the bill, not the bill, but in the president's is it bill?
It's doing very well. Chris as well, who's from the district office. Let me see anyone else? Where is Ben? Oh, there you go. On the phone. So you have some. All right. Okay, so the audience.
Thank you, guys, for all of your help, for your time and effort that you're working with us. I'm Geraldine Morrison, president of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Orange County. And the question is, I know we're heading towards a great new world, electrification, all that stuff. And we're trying to promote entrepreneurship, so we're trying to create more new businesses. However, it seems like there's a disconnect between what our kids are learning and what careers we're preparing them for in the future and what we need in the future. Has the U.S. government identified some of these, cracks where we need to really ramp up the skill set of our young people to fulfill the needs of our future work environment? I keep Googling and trying to find out should we be promoting as far as industries, but I can't really get a good report. Has the government done anything to that effect? Because there's still a lot of students that I talk to that said, oh, I'm gonna be a social media influencer, but with AI, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be around for long, and even with, the people that create our creative logos and stuff like that, with AI, that's gonna cut some of that possibilities. So I'm just wondering, are we looking far ahead in the future, and are we creating a skilled workforce for what we need?
So, before I joined the administration at an AI company, AI and healthcare company, so I have that perspective and I hear you firsthand. We need millions of data scientists. We need machine learning engineers. We need software engineers. And that's a challenge. And we know that without that skill, and by the way, that skill must come from our communities. Because data is fuel for AI. And for us to really make sure that we build this technology for everyone to use and avoid any biases, it needs to come from a very diverse workforce, men and women and so forth. The president passed, or rather signed a historic executive order on AI for the first time. In fact, we're the only major economy that has done that at the scale. About a month ago, I had the privilege to actually see him sign that in the White House. And I would really encourage all of you to take a look at AI executive order that is posted on the website at the White House. There are a couple of things that are core to the new executive order, which by the way directs all of us to work towards the adoption of AI. One is to harness the power of AI in government to develop use cases that benefit all our people. And I'm not going to really talk about use cases here, but there's so much data that we capture that we can be more effective in serving citizens, customers, small businesses, if we are harnessing this power better. It's healthcare data, with my own previous background, that CMS captures, there's opportunities there. By the way, SBA is also a disaster response agency. We process loans for homeowners and small business owners who are affected by disaster. There's an opportunity for field credits to be some opportunities there as well. A big component of this is to also ensure we have a workforce ready. And as a federal government, I'm not going to speak for our Department of Education colleagues, but they can provide a vision. But in our system, the education is really at the local level, right? It's really at the state level in our university systems. And I think I would continue to encourage you to engage with the local leadership to ensure that we have the workforce that's ready. And that is clearly something that we are focused on. There are innovation grants all across government to federal universities. The universities for the federal government that are designed to encourage. We are giving opportunities to not just major institutions, but institutions that are in the middle of the country where people often don't have access to the next generation technology when it comes to learning. So absolutely it's a topic. We cannot capitalize on the promise of AI and this emerging technology without having a talent that is ready. But that will require efforts at the federal level, state level, local level. Thank you for the question.
You and congratulations on success.
And we did help a lot of small businesses in the area for the PPP loans.
Right.
25,000, 5,000, we have gone as low as that.
Right.
Yeah, so I think I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we do need to get started.
Sorry guys, I will appreciate it for
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dilawer Syed, for coming to Southern California, the fifth largest economy of the world.
Well, thanks for having me. Good to see you.
And what is expectation today with the people you're meeting?
Well, to get the word out, all the good work SBA is doing, and how do we continue to support our next generation of small businesses.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
welcome.
much.
What business are you?
If I'm looking for non-profits, what's needed? Oh my God.
Sir, how do you feel today the event?
Well, it was very successful, and we are thankful to Farah Khan and Dilawer and his entire team. And it was a golden opportunity to meet so many people here who are in the business, very successful business. And we have Priya here. She's the.
Farooq Saab, कैसा लगा आपको आज?
MashaAllah, very informative and got good points.
Thank you. Mohammed, how do you like the event today?
Very nice, very informative event.
Excellent. Ashif, how do you like the event?
It was wonderful. Very lot of knowledge was shared in it that we can use and implement in our businesses.
Excellent. Excellent. How do you like this event today?
Fantastic, very informational.
What about you? How do you like the event?
I think it was really fantastic. It's great to be able to get such large individuals here to talk to our community.
Excellent, excellent. How do you like the event today?
It's a very informative event, and I think we enjoyed it in terms of information. Thank you so much.
Thank you. How do you like the event today?
I loved it, and thank you for being here.
And who you are?
Elmi Bermejo, Regional Administrator for Region 9, the best region.
Thank you. How do you like the event today?
What's that? It was awesome.
You ready to serve the community, business community?
Yeah, I've been serving, rolling up my sleeves. I'm here.